Alright, here's a little help video to help you get started on your Bio20 website project. So you're going to start by going to Weebly.com in a web browser. Once you get to this page, you're going to use the Get Started button. If you've already created a website through Weebly, you should have your same account and you're just going to be adding a site, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. If you've never used Weebly before, you are definitely going to need to create an account using your school, email, and password. That just makes it very simple, and if you forget your password, etc., we can help with your memory of that. So you're going to go to Get Started, you're going to create an account. Now, if you have already a Weebly page, you're just going to click on this drop-down menu. You're going to scroll to the top and click Add Site. Now, I believe the steps will be the same for those of you who have never created a website on Weebly, and it'll prompt you with similar prompts. So you're just going to click on the thing that says, I just need a website. You do not need one with an online store. And it will pop up with some themes that you can choose from. So you can scroll through these different themes, but I'm going to suggest that you don't spend a lot of time with this because you can always go in and change the theme later. But pick something that you find it would be easy for you to use and edit, or that you think looks kind of cool. You can flip through these different themes and work through which ones you would like to use. Alright, so I'm just going to select one at random just to show you the rest of this process. Alright, so you can take a look at the theme preview on how everything will look. And again, like I said, don't take too much time on this because you can always edit it later. And I'm not going to grade you on the theme that you choose. So you're going to click Start Editing. And again here, so see how it says select your domain name. You're going to choose a domain name that's something school appropriate and something that is probably related to the project. So maybe you want to say Ecology Project La Pointe, or something along those lines. Something, if you want to call it the name of your ecosystem that you chose as well, that is all right as well. So I'm going to search if this domain name is available. Now you can see that I can choose this option at the bottom, that's subdomain, which is ecologyprojectlapointe.weebly.com. Okay, this you can see is free, and this is the one I'm going to have you choose. So you're going to click choose, and your subdomain is then complete. Once you're done there, you can start with editing your project. All right, now the first thing I would like you to do is in settings, you're going to go to this button over here that's editors, and I would like you to add in your group member. If you have a group member, add in them as an editor. So you'll type in their email address, and you can send them off an email, and in their Wolf Creek, please also use their Wolf Creek email address, and then a little notification will be sent to them to be an editor in your website. This enables you to both be working on the website with different accounts, but working on the same website, and it enables you to work more effectively. Okay, now the next thing you might want to do is consider what pages you have. It will usually, the theme will include a few pages, and if you don't think you're going to need them, you can either delete those pages by clicking on them and selecting delete, or you can just edit them, and you can change the page name to say Speed Checkpoint number 1, for example. Once you do that, all the changes save automatically. So that's one thing that you can do in this Pages tab, and it will help you kind of get started there. Now the remainder of the project will be mostly using the Build tab. So you click on the page you want to work in and want to build. Now note, if you have shared your website with your group member, you can't both edit the same page at the same time. So you'll need to be working smart in that. You have to have one person working on the home page, say, and one person working on the checkpoint 1 page. So for this Weebly software, essentially, it's pretty intuitive, I think, on how to use it. Anytime you want to add a component into your website, you can scroll through any of these components that you might need to add in this toolbar on the side. And to add anything, you're simply just going to click and drag. Notice the blue bar will show up and add the component in that location. So for example, if I put it here, the title will drop below the existing content, and if I drop it here, it'll go above. So you can see now I have two titles, and I can go ahead and delete anything if it's in the way, whatnot. Okay, so simply just click and drag, and you can add content as you need. Okay, again, you can go through, if you don't like the way that it's set up originally, you can go through and delete any of the items that are there to help you with that. Now, one other suggestion I'm going to make out the gate is that if you are wanting to work together on the project simultaneously, and also just if you're typing out a large amount of text, I suggest working in a Google document, because Google documents are much more reliable in how it saves when people are working on the website collectively. Now, I've never had an issue with my Weebly not saving, but occasionally students have said that the website has not saved some of their content. Now, because I don't want you to be in that situation, I would please suggest working in a Google document, and then you can just copy and paste the text in, and you can copy and edit as you wish. So for example, you could take some text from your Google document and just paste it into the toolbar here, and that will be a good way to kind of make sure nothing gets lost. All right, with some of the extra complexities, any sort of special embedding of any weather widgets, or even embedding a Google Doc, I can help you with that when I'm back and we're working on this project the following date. But for this first date, I just want you to get your website set up, and then in either your home page, or if you call it checkpoint 1, either or, I want you just working on researching your ecosystem and giving relevant information. So maybe geographically where it's located, any human populations that are surrounding the area or in the area directly, any animals, plants, or special species that exist in your region. You might also feel inclined to insert or embed some climate information, a climatograph, as well as just a map of your region, and that will be helpful to provide some background information for both you and to the reader in what you are researching specifically. Okay, as I mentioned, checkpoint 1 is mostly the website construction, and then we start moving into the terrarium. Again, you won't be able to do the terrarium until I am back and we've selected some plants, and I'm sure of what your ecosystem choices are, and we'll work on that another time. If you are able to complete the checkpoints 1 to what you think is effectively done, you may move on and take a look at checkpoint 2. Now, a reminder, all of the checkpoints are accessible on my website, or they're accessible in your Google Drive, where I've shared the documents there with you for your sort of access and ease. So there won't be a paper copy of the checkpoint this time. It will just be digital, and you'll have to log into your Google Drive accounts and take a look at your Bio 20 folder to find those checkpoints. I think that should be kind of a good place to start, and you should have quite a bit of information to work with and research and include. And remember, you want to kind of use the keep it simple, stupid principle, in that don't include information that you don't think is overly relevant, and that you don't you should completely understand all of your information that you're adding. So don't add any information that is kind of over your head, because it's most likely also going to be over my head. So please just include the information as you're researching it that is relevant to your ecosystem and relevant to this project. All right, so I will share those documents with you right away, and they'll be there for you. And again, if you complete checkpoint 1, feel free to take a look at checkpoint 2 and begin the research for that. If you do have any questions, I should be able to answer them via email or through Remind. But I think that it is pretty intuitive, and there's definitely students in the class that have used Weebly before that can also help you out. All right, have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.